Hello and welcome to Meister Arts and Crafts. I'm Libby and today I will be showing you how to watercolor with Distress Oxide Inks. For my cards today, I took some Tim Holtz watercolor paper and I trimmed two pieces down to 5 by 3 3/4. And now I am blending on some Distress Oxide ink in spun sugar. And I'm not worrying if this is a unsmooth blend. I want a lot of texture on this panel, so I'm also using the textured side of the watercolor paper. Then I will flick on some clear water and then pick it up with a towel to create splatters and more texture. Next, I am going to stamp butterflies on my background, and so I took two different sizes of butterfly stamps and I'm just placing them in kind of a random order in the bottom right and kind of left corner of my panel. And I'm stamping these with Hero Arts embossing and watermark ink, and then I will cover them with white embossing powder and I will heat set that. Sorry, my hair does get in the way a little bit throughout this clip. Next, to make the butterflies pop, I took some Kitsch Flamingo Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to apply the ink in the wings. I was going to use candied apple and mustard seed, but I decided I didn't want it to pop that much, and I'm really glad I chose the Kitsch Flamingo. I think it gave it a subtle look, but really popped as well. What I suggest doing with the ink is taking the ink with little water in it and placing it close to the body of the butterfly, and then taking just a little bit of water and blending that out with your brush. I don't suggest using a lot of water like I did in this clip. It did end up taking me 23 minutes, so you do just have to be really patient, but I really liked how this turned out, and I'm glad I spent a lot of time on it. For my next panel, I took some of the flower stamps that I had in my collection, and I will try to link the supplies below if I can find them. But anyway, I took some tumbled glass Distress Oxide ink and I stamped that really well onto the bottom of my panel, and I maybe even double or triple stamped this to make sure that it was really dark and I had a lot of ink on my panel. Which you'll see why in a minute. This next part, I do have a few clips of me doing this. So I took some water and I sprayed it at the bottom of the panel, and then I tried to move the color with the heat gun, but it didn't work super well. So I ended up just moving it. With gravity, and then I would dry it really well in between when I added new color and new water. And then I did end up restamping the flowers multiple times, and you really have to add a lot of water to this, and you want to make sure that it's dripping like you see there on the panel. I did end up taking the actual ink pads and dragging them on the bottom of the panel to add more color and to give it more movement. On my first panel, I chose to stamp "To Cheer You While You Heal" as the sentiment, and I did use Hero Arts soft granite ink, and I thought this went really well, and the sentiment was just perfect in between the butterflies, and I really like this card. It's one of my favorites. On the next panel, I chose to stamp "Your Kindness Doesn't Go Unnoticed." On this one, I really liked it. I chose to emboss it with gold embossing powder. I wish I had used like a silver embossing powder or that gray ink, but I really liked how it turned out overall. It just didn't quite give those flowers enough attention. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and come see me next Tuesday. Have a great day. See you soon.